Hello there, here I am, it's Jules here. Right, I've been asked quite a few times now to talk about fibromyalgia and how I dealt with my fibromyalgia. So for those of you that don't know, I live with fibromyalgia and I have done for probably just short 15 years. Gracie's 15 tomorrow, and it was after Gracie was born that I had a car accident, or a near-miss accident. And it was that trauma that triggered the release of pain. And that generally happens. So what fibromyalgia is basically a pain syndrome. It's a pain syndrome that can be all over your body, or it can start in bits of your body and move. It's a pain syndrome that makes you feel like sometimes you're losing the plot. It makes you feel like a hypochondriac, because every single day, it's almost like we had a joke about it in our house, which was like, what's the disease of the day? Is it Monday migraine? Is it Tuesday tonsils? Yeah, it's just very, 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 very wearing. And when you're in proper pain all the time, that has a massive mental impact on you, because you just think, what is this literally all about? I can't live like this, can't live with this pain. Why? At least if I had a label for it, maybe I could understand what it was and do something about it. Fact is, the diagnosis can take a real long time to get, because there's no test for it. Because actually, the fibromyalgia label, I feel, is a label that they give anyone that doesn't know what's wrong with them. And you don't know what's wrong with you because there's no physical reason for the pain. So my pain started in my face here, in my sinuses here, and also in my hips and my legs. They were my main points. So I used to go to the doctors, I've got a sinus infection, I'm in agony, can't breathe, my face was like, had a vice around it, like that. That's what it felt like. So I'd get antibiotics, and the antibiotics didn't do anything. And I just was on recurring antibiotics. Meanwhile, my hips are hurting, and I'm just thinking, must be something to do with pregnancy, because I had that SPD, that symphysis pubis dysfunction, where your hips sort of move when you've got the pregnancy hormone going on, too much of that, and your hips move. So that's what I put it down to. Again, that's another thing. You put all these aches and pains down to, oh, it's probably that, or it could be this, and you make excuses. And then, so the doctor then gives you more, and I say, right, enough now, I've had this sinus infection too much, refer me to the ENT. So I went to the ear, nose and throat specialist, who stuck this tree up my nose and said, sinuses are clear. So okay then, my sinuses are clear, tell me why my face hurts now. I am in agony right now, the symptoms are all here, why have I got it? So he diagnosed acute face pain syndrome. Acute face pain syndrome, okay, go with that. So there's nothing wrong with me, no. Okay, so after that, pains through my eye, really bad, like migraine pains, but through this left eye. So again, painkillers, rest, computer, eye tests, glasses, everything else, no reason. End up at neurologists, through the brain scan machine, no lesions, so no MS, but the symptoms are very similar. So so then they diagnosed, what was the other name of it? Chronic pain syndrome. So then you get diagnosed chronic pain syndrome. So acute face pain syndrome, chronic pain syndrome, which basically means that you're in pain all the time. Anything that lasts for longer than 6 months is or 3 months, I think it might be, is classed as chronic pain. And there's millions and millions of us in the UK that live in chronic pain. Go figure. So I said to the neurologist, so what you're saying to me, it's all in my head. And he said, well, it is, in as much as if you had epilepsy, that's in your head. So it's basically saying your hips are really hurting to the point where you're in agony and you can hardly walk, but there's nothing physically wrong. So if you broke your leg, your pain receptors in your leg would go, oh, something wrong there. Tells the brain something's wrong, create pain. Yeah, that's how it works. However, what people with fibromyalgia do is their brain fires off signals to say your leg's hurting. No reason for it, just have a load of that. And so whilst it's in your head, it's not really in your head. The pain is very bloody real, very, very real indeed. And but because there's nothing physical there, how can you treat that? So I learned all this after such a long time. And I can honestly understand how people can get stuck and then they become part of that illness, because your life then revolves around, right, when you wake up in the morning, it's like, right, what's going to hurt first? What's going to hurt today? And it's like a spiral. It's like a spiral. And I was given all the tablets that you can ever think of: gabapentin, pregabalin, tramadol, amitriptyline, fluoxetine, which is an antidepressant, which I absolutely needed. I was on my arse. And all these tablets, constantly codeine, this, that, and the other. And all they did was make me feel worse. There was one point where I was crying and I phoned the doctor and I said, I cannot live like this anymore. And he just said, just stop taking the tablets. Stop taking the tablets. The side effects are obviously not working for you. That was years and years and years ago. Anyway, fast forward to 2017. I had a load of emotional trauma going on. And also, lots of emotional trauma going on. And then in 2018, I had, 2017, I was given beta blockers because my palpitations, my anxiety was just getting out of control. So the beta blockers, again, were just to deal with the symptoms. And this is all about symptom management, not about dealing with the cause, because nobody really knows what the cause is. There's no medical reason for the cause that is known. And when you look at it, they'll say there's no cure and there's no known cause, actually. So I felt my body shutting down. I thought I was checking out. I thought I was done. I thought I was finished. And I sat in my mum's back garden having a cup of tea with her, and she said, are you all right? I said, no, I feel like I'm checking out. So it's quite scary, but quite calm at the same time, because I didn't have any energy. It was almost like my body was going, enough now, enough, Jules, enough, take control. And it was that day that it all changed. And in the April, my friends had bought me some beautiful oils for my birthday. A little set of the top 10 oils, and I blooming loved them. They were like little precious box of magic. And I started using them for headaches. So I'd put peppermint on my neck, frankincense and peppermint on my neck and on my pulse points, and that was having an impact. And I started having bath salts and things like that, and that was helping. So after this meltdown, this shutdown, I decided to take control, and I thought, right, I need to take control of my body. So this is how I did it. So I contacted my oil lady, Kelly, and I said to Kelly, I need some help. I need to come off these tablets. And obviously she wasn't qualified to tell me to come off the tablets, but I had a real drive. I was in the driving seat, and I was going to come off these tablets, and I was going to take control of my body, because enough already. I'd researched it, and ultimately there was no reason for fibromyalgia. The reason generally starts with trauma, some sort of shock that triggers it. And mine was a car accident, can be childbirth, can be lots of other, and it can be, and I believe the pain comes from trapped trauma. So trapped trauma as energy stuck in your body. I honestly believe that. And actually all the tablets in the world are not going to do anything for you. They're not. Sorry, Mum's coming in now.